Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. How are you guys doing? This is Martin Morris, the greatest salesman in the world. That was a former engineer. I'm even smarter than Elon Musk because I don't smoke weed because they say weed makes your brain go woo. So once Elon Musk started smoking weed, he made me the greatest salesman in the world. That was a former engineer. How are you guys doing today? You guys may not know me, Martin Morris, 53, 26 years in sales, sold toys door to door in Sacramento, sold springs door to door, Petavita Mold and Dye. Just recovering from the Grant Cardone Virtual Boot Camp right now. I'm trying to, if you guys waiting to get ready for Monday, starting with my part-time job. I'm going to work with you guys to show us we may not be able to save 40%. Grant Cardone says one way to save money is like we have to save 40% of our income. That's the number one thing. Well, we're going to start that together. I get paid $680 for my part-time job, so I'm going to take $100 every month of that check and put it in a credit union, and that comes out to 16.7% of my check each month. Not 40%, but it's 16.7. And for you guys, hey, you may say, Martin, I don't have that much money to give away to take out 2%, 3%. We're going to do it together. Because one thing that you miss when you listen to all these get rich quick programs, and you can do it, you got to stack it $1 at a time. I finally realized that I'm saving about 26.7% of my income, paid off all my credit cards and stuff. And like you're saying, people are like, oh, Martin, why don't you invest in this program, invest in that program? After a while, you know what? You just got to go do something, man. There's no get rich quick. There's no, other than Biden and the Congress giving away money. Now, if you can position yourself to get some of that free money, go for it, man. Get that money. Make sure it's legal, though. But that's one thing I finally learned. You can put this away, that away. Why don't you just try saving a little money in your check? That's why I started the Too Old to Be Too Broke.com program. Hey, let's get 30, 40, 50, 60. Hey, how about we just have an extra 100,000, extra $1,000 in our wallets and our bank accounts? We may not be the rich 10 million, 15 million. We may not be driving around in a Mercedes. We may not be driving around. One has a fancy car, but they're broke. At least if you're driving around in a fancy car, I want you to be able to at least take your car to a Chevron, Shell, a high-end gas station, get you some quality gas. I don't want to see you parking a Range Rover like this one person I saw at an AM PM. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Guess where you get carjacked? Has a new road that road. In Banning, off of 22nd Street, AM PM. Homeless live right behind the fence. All kind of drug addicts walking down the street. That's where he's getting his gas. He's got a new car. He's getting the cheapest gas possible. That's all you need to know. I know. I think I can make the payments. I get the gas here, because I've done it before, man. I spent $5,000 on a gallon of gas. Had a 2007 BMW when all the gas is spiked. So I know how it is to spend money on gas. $150, $160 on tires. But let me not get off the subject. That's the focus of the Too Old to Be the Broke program. I've been at this since 2014 when I lost 2 duplexes, had to sell an investment, $94,117 in student debt. God knows that probate, had to go to probate. Almost lost the house that I was in foreclosure. So since then, that's why I started 2014. I'm going to YouTube, Grant Cardone, Kevin Hogan, Tom Hopkins, John Maxwell, Sharon Lecter. Who else have I studied? Darmon. I think one I'm looking at is, I think it's a professor. Jordan Peterson, Chris Voss. Avery Cordoza, all these books, you can do it, In the end, you just got to go do it. Before you can start stacking millions and millions of dollars and become famous, you know what you realize? You just have to hustle. That's all it is. You got to hustle. That's what COVID taught you when everything shut down. I think COVID was a conspiracy to create more warehouse workers. That's my new theory. Guys, let me know. Now everybody works at a warehouse, fancy cars, Mercedes, and all kind of stuff. And then they're broke. $14 an hour. I worked in a warehouse when I was younger, man. At least when I worked at Petavita Motor and Die, Steve and his dad taught me how to do accounting and receivable, accounts payable, taught me how to do the shipping, taught me a little about business, taught me about import, export, had me run the injection molding machine. Calvin, I did delays, taught me how to solder. So at least when I was at warehouse, I was like learning skills that helped me all over. You guys just go to a warehouse, John, with this Robbie the robot, Robbie the robot. Got goggles and vests. Where you go? Are you landing an airplane or moving boxes? So sad, man. So that's what I believe COVID was a conspiracy to create more warehouse workers, to make you feel good about working in a warehouse. Hey, that's an excellent job, Prologis. Maybe for some, I've done it before. Like Calvin says, you only can do that for a while. You got to do something else. That's why I started the Too Old to Be Broke.com program. For some of you guys from our generation, 40, 30, 40, 50, you have some extra money. Hey, here's what are some better ways that we can make money. How can we use the energy of the young people around us, not only to push them forward, but to pull ourselves forward? How can we be role models where we show, hey, we can't have the fancy cars. I can't have the dog. I can't have the cat. I just can't have a lot of fancy stuff. There's only a finite amount of money. I can't use a 21% credit card when the interest rate in the bank is 0.5%. That's the power you have as older people. You come from a generation, I mean, we weren't perfect. I'm 53. We weren't perfect. But at least one thing we understood was the difference between 1 plus 1, the difference between 10% interest and 30% interest. That's the difference now. You run out of money, you might as well go to a payday loan before you get the credit card, man. Credit cards are like 30, just like boom, 29.99%, like it's nothing. Yeah, that would be great. Interest in the bank, 0.5%. They don't tell you that, do they? That's what I'm saying. The focus of the Too Old to Be Broke program is to grow older. Let's reduce our debts. We've got to reduce our debts. Learned that from Kevin O'Leary. Thank you. Props to Grant Cardone 10X Challenge. That was very helpful. He said, you just got to, there's nothing out there to give you that much return. You pay 6, 8, 7, 10%. $29.99 minus 10 leaves you $19.99. Still owe. So that's the focus of the 202 program. That's why I have my programs. I'm folding it in like my $50, $70, $100, $200 programs help you pay off your car loan earlier. I got programs from $300 to $500 help you pay off your car or your student loan. I was up at $94,117. It'll be down to below $20,000 as of tomorrow. And I started this back in 2014. Oh, what else is there? Oh, I have my Blackjack retirement program. That's a $5,000 program. When we go to the Grand Hotel, I need to teach you, hey, before you start doing rental property, that's another thing I'll talk to you about later. Oh, rental property. Why is it everybody who does rental property I know feel old, worn out, bitter? Yeah, because the tenants don't pay their fucking rent, man. You gotta have scale. You'll never get rich as a rental person with comp duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. Because you know why? Because you don't want to raise the rent. You know why you don't want to raise the rent? Because you know that person will move out. Now, if you get an apartment and you can invest in it, like for something, if you can get your hands or to like a Marriott Inn by Residence Inn by Marriott, somehow become an investor in this, you got a chance. Marriott doesn't want to fail. Now, as for you, you have a duplex. That's okay. I don't want to raise the rent. Oh, they're great tenants. You're not a person's a fucking asshole. You're an idiot. Like my friend, person's dripping oil on the ground and shit. I got to go over there, dogs fighting, person's trying to poison another person's dog. That's what I'm going to teach you about. The Too Old to Be Broke.com program is teaching you, hey, everything that glitters is not gold. Even the stock market will take your money, man. There's always something out there right now. That's what you learn. Every couple of years, these banks say, shit, I ain't gonna pay these fucking people some money. What kind of crisis can we think of next? Next is gonna be an alien invasion. That's probably why they're starting the Galactic Air Force. Uh-oh, things are starting to turn around. We may have to pay out. We have to pay out. Let's bring on a new crisis. That's what I'm saying. If Too Old to Be the program, maybe you not have only money in the bank. Maybe you better have some money under the bed just in case things get a little wacky, as you already know they can do. Where you're not like, hey, depending on someone to give you a check, you say, hey, you know what, keep your money. I got enough. We may eat hamburger meat, not steak. I may drink Samuel Adams, not the finer beers, but you can like hold out just long enough when they say, okay, that person is responsible. That person is not going to give into our bullshit. What can we give them to get him to her to go along with the program? Then that's how you get bigger cut of the pie. And then they'll invite you in the club. Now when you don't have any money, as a 202 Beauty Abroad program teaches you, got to have your hand out. You know what they do with a person who has their hands out? Smack it down most of the time. All right, you guys. Go to 202beautybroke.com program. Don't tell anybody I said COVID was possible.